Hello everyone, thanks for watching this video. So I want to talk about my G70, which I got a few months ago. So I'm the owner. I used to own a Veloster N. So I had it for about a year and I had the most fun out of it you can get. I went through 2 sets of tires before I even hit 10,000 miles. So I had a lot of fun with the car. But honestly, it was a time for an upgrade and I couldn't decide what to get, but I wanted to get an upgrade and go into more of the premium segment of the car. The 4 cars I had in mind was the Genesis G70, was the Acura TSX Type S, it was the BMW M340 and the AMG C43. So the first 2 cars went out of my list were AMG C43, which unfortunately, and it very hurts me to say this because I'm a diehard AMG and Mercedes-Benz fan. That car has a really bad build quality. Everything in the interior is creaking and squeaking and makes noise. It feels loose. You touch the panels and you can push them with a finger, remove them with a finger. It's just a really bad build quality. And this is on the car that was new in the showroom when I went to look at it, and my mind was, what's going to happen to this interior in 10,000 miles? How many creaks and rattles am I going to have? And this is a car that's almost cost $70,000. So that went off the list. The BMW M340, don't get me wrong, it's an M340. It has amazing 6-cylinder engine. It sounds good, it grips, it drives. It's fastest car in its class. But the biggest note to me was the fact, first, it comes with the Bridgestone all-season tires. Yeah, I don't accept that. If it's an M340, I don't care if it's marketing reasons built M, it's not a real M, whatever you call it. If BMW calls the performance vehicle or fast vehicle sports sedan, I don't accept it Bridgestone all-season tires. So that's out of the window. Plus, as many models as I looked for, it has the same exactly interior as 330i, and from the outside it's very hard to tell the difference between M340 and 330i M Sport package unless you look very closely. And if I'm not mistaken, the grille is a little bit different, and obviously the exhaust tips on the M340 are different. It sounds better. So those 2 out of the window. I really like the Acura TSX, and I think it has a name for it. I like the fact that it has the performance name, it has the history, it has the all-wheel drive super handling system. However, it felt very slow. The car is slow, and everyone that reviewed the vehicle that you watch, there's very how do I say this, as much as I watch videos on YouTube, people either hate it or love it. There's no in between. There isn't people still say it's slow. The rear legroom, there's no legroom, and then the infotainment system, it feels outdated. The graphic, when you change it to sport mode, sport plus, or comfort individual, it feels very outdated. It feels very Honda-like. If you're getting a performance vehicle, if you're getting a luxury segment, I do not think it's supposed to be even close to what Honda interiors should look like, but it was very close to that. So that's also no. So the last car that I wanted to look at was the Genesis G70, and G70 it's the car that I went to maybe with the lower expectations, because G70 was presented to the market, if I'm not mistaken, 2017/18, or I think it was presented 2018, and then it went on sale 2019. So this car is fairly new. It's less than your 10-year-old car built from scratch. So this car has no right to be next to cars like M340, C43, and Acura TSX Type S in its class. This car does not have any history. This car does not have any, how do I say this, any name to it. It's still, when I go and I tell people that I drive a Genesis G70, they still ask me, what is it? They don't know. You literally have to explain to them. So this car comes with Michelin Pilot Sport tires, comes with the Brembo brakes, adaptive sports suspension, electronic adaptive suspension, so it switches between the modes. It has the Valvetronic exhaust system, which opens the valve if you put in a Sport Plus. Genesis says it adds, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 3 horsepower. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you really don't feel that. But does it sound better? Yes, it sounds much better. So I picked this car over those 3. and I'm really happy with it. I did not know what it was gonna be like. Yes, it has its downfalls. For example, I don't like the I don't like how they designed the cluster. It's half digital, half analog. To me, it's either or. I don't mind analog. I don't think analog is outdated. I actually prefer analog versus what BMW does with their like squares. I just don't understand the design of it. It looks stupid to me. Acura was very outdated with their like tiny screen. It was two clusters and tiny screen in the middle. I did not like that whatsoever. But this car feels amazing. It has ventilated seats, it has heated steering wheel, it has the panoramic sunroof. The seats and the interior of this car is the best in its class. There is absolutely nothing close to this. Just look at the interior of this car. Look how beautiful this interior is. Look at the seats, the stitchings. What other car in the segment can be even close to this? No car. If you look at the C43 seats, the way they design it, feels just weird. It has some plastic part around it. It has a very narrow headrest. It looks ridiculous. It looks really terrible. So I'm a big fan of Mercedes-Benz. I had the C300, I would call it AMG Sport Package. I do not think it's an AMG. Do not hold me accountable for these words, and I never presented myself as I have an AMG. It's a C300. And I had a W205, which is, I think, very beautiful C-Class. But again, that car had a lot of interior build quality issues. Everything creaked and everything